Meghan was never my friend. She had an affair with my ex-husband, and I'm fed up remembering all the times she used me and dumped me when I was no longer used.
Jessica Mulroney, once the steadfast confidant in Meghan Markle's rise to fame, has finally broken her long-held silence, revealing a deep sense of betrayal that goes far beyond public scandal. According to sources close to her, the accusations she has made are sharp, personal, and directed squarely at the woman she once considered a sister in all but blood. Jessica reportedly confided to her inner circle that Meghan was never truly her friend, claiming that she betrayed her by having an affair with her husband, exploiting their relationship, and discarding her when the public spotlight shifted. This revelation is more than a personal fallout between former allies. It is a reckoning that has the potential to challenge the carefully maintained image of a duchess who has long presented herself as a victim of circumstance. For years, the public admired the bond between Jessica Mulroney and Meghan Markle as a symbol of cross-continental loyalty, from Toronto sets to Windsor chapels. Yet now, in the wake of Jessica's own marital split, she has decided to speak openly, leaving no room for pretense. Insiders say the hurt she carries runs deep, stemming from private moments where trust was sacrificed for ambition. What once appeared to be mutual support has, according to Jessica, been a series of calculated moves and hidden agendas. Her revelations, if fully aired, could challenge the carefully crafted narrative of Meghan's rise, exposing flaws in a foundation built on borrowed glamour and temporary alliances. This tension did not emerge overnight. It has simmered for years, fueled by unspoken grievances. With her marriage dissolved and her career still recovering from past challenges, Jessica is ready to voice her truth, pulling back the curtain on a friendship that was never as pure as it appeared. Their story began seamlessly, almost enviably, when Meghan, an ambitious actress making her mark in Toronto, met Jessica, a stylist entrenched in Canada's elite circles. Their instant connection, founded on shared interests in fashion, fitness, and female camaraderie, set the stage for a relationship that would later reveal far more complexity than outsiders ever imagined. Jessica Mulroney was far more than just a friend to Meghan Markle. She was a figure of influence in her own right, the daughter-in-law of a former prime minister and married to Ben Mulroney, a prominent broadcaster whose connections offered access to circles of prestige and power. Meghan, always strategic in building her network, recognized in Jessica a key to elevated social and professional opportunities. Their friendship was punctuated by vacations, shared brunches, and professional collaboration, with Jessica even styling Meghan for her role in a legal drama. As Meghan's career and public profile ascended, their friendship was prominently displayed on social media, with Jessica often posting glowing tributes and tagging Meghan in posts that celebrated their bond. When Meghan's romance with a British prince began, Jessica reportedly was among the first confidants to hear the news through late-night calls, and her children were included in the royal wedding, cementing a seemingly inseparable connection in a story that appeared, to the outside world, like a modern fairy tale. Jessica Mulroney's friendship with Meghan Markle seemed, on the surface, cemented in the annals of modern royalty. Yet beneath the glossy public image, sources indicate early signs of imbalance. Jessica contributed introductions, wardrobe guidance, and emotional support as Meghan navigated the pressures of the spotlight, while Meghan reciprocated by boosting Jessica's profile through association. Insiders, however, hint at Meghan's calculated approach. She valued the Mulroney name for credibility in Canadian society, and Ben's connections offered tangible advantages in media and politics. Friends recall moments when Meghan leaned heavily on the couple, attending events and leveraging their network, creating what initially appeared to be a mutually beneficial relationship. Over time, as Meghan's ambitions intensified, the balance shifted. Jessica, trusting and loyal, considered Meghan almost like family, investing her time and faith without hesitation. Unbeknownst to her, the foundation of their friendship was fragile, ready to fracture at the first sign of controversy. That turning point arrived quietly but dramatically, through a social media storm that exposed vulnerabilities neither woman had anticipated, setting the stage for the eventual unraveling of their once close bond. In the summer of 2020, amid global calls for racial justice, Jessica Mulroney found herself at the center of controversy when an influencer accused her of behavior rooted in privilege. The backlash was swift and severe, costing her television gigs and brand partnerships. Meghan Markle, who had long positioned herself as a champion for equality, reportedly distanced herself almost immediately, leaving Jessica to confront the fallout alone. According to sources, this moment marked the beginning of Jessica questioning the authenticity of their friendship. Where was the support from the woman who had once confided in her about everything? Yet the rift ran deeper than this public incident. Tensions had been simmering for months, linked to personal matters kept out of headlines, including strains in Jessica's marriage to Ben. Insiders suggest Meghan's involvement in these private matters became a source of contention, with whispers in Toronto circles hinting at late-night conversations and blurred boundaries. Jessica reportedly confronted Meghan privately, only to be met with deflection rather than acknowledgement. As Meghan focused on her new life in California and her royal ascent, Jessica felt used and discarded, a stepping stone left behind once Meghan secured her status. Regret weighed heavily. As one source noted, Jessica now views that era as a shadow over her life, feeling that her association with Meghan amplified her own scandals. The royal wedding, once a pinnacle of joy, became a symbol of betrayal, with her children in the bridal party and her front row seat tying her too closely to Meghan's orbit. When the Duchess stepped back from royal duties, Jessica was left navigating the aftermath alone, her loyalty and trust seemingly overlooked. Jessica Mulroney's reputation became ensnared in the aftermath of controversy, a blow that was both professional and deeply personal, eroding trust and forcing her to confront why a friend would seemingly disappear when she needed support most. The allegations that have since emerged are raw and unfiltered, coming from sources claiming direct knowledge of the situation. Jessica has reportedly told close allies that Meghan's betrayal went far beyond emotional abandonment, striking at the heart of personal integrity. She allegedly confessed that Meghan had an affair with her husband, Amyas Bainan, words shared in private gatherings that painted a vivid and devastating picture of infidelity and shattered stability. Insiders assert that this was not a fleeting rumor but part of a persistent pattern, with Meghan deliberately cultivating a closeness with Ben under the guise of platonic friendship and professional collaboration. Jessica recalls moments that now haunt her: glamorous trips, intimate social events, and settings where boundaries blurred, leaving her with a gnawing sense of doubt. With Ben's charismatic presence and influential media connections, he represented a valuable ally for Meghan's ambitions, providing access to networks that could further her career, while Jessica was left to reconcile the personal betrayal with the public fallout. Yet, according to these explosive claims, what began as a professional and social alliance allegedly crossed into intimate betrayal, transforming trust into heartbreak. Jessica's purported statements, delivered with a mix of anger and sorrow, convey a sense of profound disillusionment. Meghan was never a true friend, she claims, having exploited their family's prestige to elevate her own status and discarding Jessica the moment she became a perceived liability in Meghan's carefully curated narrative. The timing of these revelations coincides with Jessica's own marital struggles, culminating in a highly publicized split after years of a seemingly stable marriage. Sources suggest that the alleged affair may have been a hidden catalyst, concealed to maintain appearances but festering beneath the surface like an untreated wound. Frustrated with carrying this burden alone, Jessica is reportedly reminding those close to her of the many ways Meghan allegedly leveraged their bond, from borrowing designer clothes for high-profile events to using introductions for lucrative business ventures. Insiders describe these moves as meticulously calculated, portraying Meghan as viewing the Mulroney connection not as a genuine partnership, but as a strategic ladder to ascend socially and professionally. Now, amid the upheaval of her divorce and ongoing career recalibrations, Jessica's patience is thinned, worn down by years of suppressed resentment. While these accusations remain private for now, they are steadily emerging, hinting at a reckoning that could shift perceptions of loyalty, trust, and ambition within their once celebrated friendship. The allegations surrounding Jessica Mulroney and Meghan Markle are reportedly circulating quietly but steadily through elite social circles in Toronto and beyond, gaining traction via trusted word-of-mouth channels. A close confidant describes Jessica's current mindset as one of controlled yet simmering anger, carefully weighing her options before deciding how far to escalate the matter publicly. The potential implications are significant, with the possibility of transforming what was once celebrated as an enviable friendship into a cautionary tale of deception, manipulation, and heartbreak that extends far beyond their personal lives. According to sources, Jessica is not speaking without substantiation. She allegedly possesses messages, detailed timelines, and witness accounts that chart the alleged affair's progression over years of intertwined connections. These include late-night texts exchanged during high-profile events, shared hotel stays that exceeded professional necessity, and overheard conversations at exclusive Toronto gatherings that reportedly raised suspicions among mutual friends. Jessica has reportedly shared these materials with legal advisors, preparing herself for the possibility of confronting the matter in a more formal or public way, while continuing to navigate the personal fallout and the erosion of trust in what was once considered a close, unbreakable bond. Jessica reportedly consulted legal advisors not to launch an immediate lawsuit, but as a safeguard against any potential denial or counter-narrative from Meghan Markle. The fallout from the 2020 controversy, in which Jessica was publicly accused of exhibiting white privilege during a heated exchange with influencer Sasha Exit amid the Black Lives Matter movement, intensified her scrutiny of past events. That scandal, which resulted in the loss of television contracts and brand partnerships, prompted Jessica to revisit old communications with a more critical perspective. Within the digital trail of emails, social media messages, and archived phone logs, patterns allegedly emerged suggesting Meghan's closeness with Ben Mulroney extended well beyond platonic interactions, hinting at a deeper entanglement Jessica had previously overlooked. Insiders cite specific examples, including a 2018 charity gala where observers noted unusual familiarity, lingering touches, and private whispers that quietly sparked speculation. Other occasions included family vacations where Meghan seamlessly integrated into the Mulroney household, yet tensions simmered unnoticed. Jessica's regret, insiders say, stems from having ignored early warning signs, blinded by loyalty and the excitement of their shared public spotlight. She reportedly reminds friends how Meghan became intertwined with their family life, attending birthdays, holidays, and even styling sessions that doubled as bonding opportunities, only to pivot abruptly when circumstances no longer serve her ambitions. When the scandal hit, the fallout was swift and unmistakable. Sources claim Meghan Markle abruptly stopped responding to Jessica Mulroney's calls and messages, leaving her isolated during one of the lowest points of her life and contributing to the strain on her marriage. This alleged behavior shifts the story from mere rumor to something that could potentially be verified through mutual acquaintances in Canadian media circles who observed the dynamics firsthand. Jessica's camp reportedly hints at additional evidence, including a handwritten note from Meghan expressing gratitude for introductions, or even a recorded call capturing moments of unguarded betrayal. The goal, insiders suggest, is not revenge but reclamation, bringing facts to light to challenge the Duchess's carefully polished public persona, which has long shielded her from scrutiny while leaving those close to her vulnerable to private harm. The truth, sources suggest, has long been overshadowed by Meghan Markle's carefully managed public image. According to insiders, Jessica Mulroney has endured years of silence, especially following her 2025 divorce from Ben, which some link indirectly to the unresolved pain stemming from this chapter of her life. With her marriage ended and her career gradually recovering through new ventures, Jessica is reportedly compiling what she knows, preparing to challenge the narrative that cast her as the villain in a saga defined by privilege and fallout. Observers argue that the pieces fit too neatly to dismiss, forming a mosaic of manipulation that calls into question much of Meghan's relational history, from alliances forged for ambition to the quiet, sudden discards that often followed. Publicly, Meghan's life gleams with independence and advocacy, portraying her as a modern woman who left royalty to pursue authenticity and personal freedom. She has built an image of resilience, speaking on mental health, gender equality, and issues affecting marginalized communities, positioning herself as a beacon of empowerment. Yet insiders allege a starkly different private reality, one marked by strategic alliances, calculated risks, and swift severances that leave others behind. Jessica's claims highlight this duality. While Meghan publicly champions friendship, solidarity, and empowerment through podcasts, books, and high-profile engagements, her private actions allegedly reflect opportunism and self-preservation. Though the Duchess speaks eloquently about sisterhood and uplifting women, her inner circle has reportedly shrunk over the years, with former close friends like Jessica left wondering why their bonds were discarded so abruptly. This contrast, insiders argue, is not a recent phenomenon but a recurring pattern in her personal relationships. Similar patterns, sources suggest, echo throughout Meghan Markle's other relationships, from well-documented family arrangements played out in the media to sudden professional partings with colleagues and mentors who once supported her rise. Jessica Mulroney's personal story adds a particularly damaging layer, accusing Meghan of not merely drifting away but actively infiltrating her marriage for personal gain, exploiting years of trust. Publicly, their bond appeared unbreakable, celebrated in glossy photographs, Instagram posts, and high-profile joint appearances. Privately, however, the relationship was strikingly uneven, with Jessica investing far more time, resources, and emotional energy than she ever received in return. The alleged affair, if substantiated, paints a disturbing picture of a willingness to cross ethical boundaries for advantage, blurring the line between friendship and manipulation. Ben Mulroney's prominent status as a media figure and heir to a political dynasty reportedly made him an asset in Meghan's eyes, and insiders claim her charm drew him closer than appropriate. Initially, Jessica endured the mounting humiliation quietly, prioritizing the preservation of their shared public image and avoiding scandal. Over time, however, she came to view that silence as enabling behavior, allowing the deception to grow unchecked. The hidden reality, according to sources, emerges as a portrait of a woman who collects connections like prized trophies, leveraging relationships for personal and professional gain while leaving others to bear the fallout. Jessica Mulroney alleges that Meghan Markle has a pattern of leveraging relationships for personal gain, only to discard those connections when they no longer serve a purpose or pose a risk. Jessica frequently reminds her circle of the countless ways she supported Meghan, from impromptu styling sessions that prepped her for key events to providing steadfast emotional support during the most turbulent moments of her royal transition and beyond. According to sources, the eventual severing of their friendship came abruptly and without ceremony, coinciding with Meghan's relocation to America, where new networks, influential partnerships, and opportunities awaited, free from the obligations of past ties. This stark discrepancy continues to fuel the drama, with Meghan's supporters dismissing Jessica's claims as bitterness or jealousy, while Jessica's allies maintain that she is exposing long-suppressed truths. Publicly, Meghan is portrayed as a flawless, inspirational figure, yet insiders suggest a dual narrative exists, one carefully staged for cameras and admirers, the other played out behind closed doors, where alliances are formed and broken with strategic precision. If Jessica's allegations gain traction, the fallout could be significant, extending beyond personal grievances into questions about Meghan's broader legacy. Her marriage to a prince, already under scrutiny, could face renewed inquiries regarding fidelity and trust, while her brand, built on empowerment, risks reputational damage if viewed through the lens of exploitation. Jessica, frustrated by the prevailing narrative, underscores her own sacrifices, from participation in the royal wedding to defending Meghan publicly, arguing that the alleged affair reveals a prioritization of ambition over ethics. Those in wider social and professional circles reportedly sense the gravity of these claims, recognizing that they challenge the curated image of a woman who has long presented herself as a paragon of integrity and empowerment. Jessica Mulroney's allegations continue to send tremors through elite circles, with former friends reportedly watching closely, sparking speculation that her courage could inspire further disclosures. For Meghan Markle, the situation is a test of resilience navigating mounting scrutiny while maintaining composure. Though the monarchy remains formally distant, it is aware that scandals reverberate, and Jessica's story highlights the personal cost of loyalty betrayed, a woman reclaiming her voice after years in the shadows. While the line of succession remains unaffected, reputations hang in the balance. Making this more than mere gossip, it represents a structural shakeup that questions the lengths some will go for power. Meghan has yet to respond publicly, her camp upholding the dignified silence that has long shielded her from controversy. Meanwhile, Jessica's alleged words continue to linger, casting a shadow over the once pristine image of grace and resilience. Sources emphasize her exhaustion with the cycle of use and discard that left her to pick up the pieces alone. What began as a friendship under the spotlight has transformed into a cautionary tale about the fragility of alliances forged under intense public scrutiny. As Jessica moves forward, post-split and newly empowered by her reclaimed independence, the world watches eagerly, anticipating whether she will fully go public with her account or let whispers slowly erode the carefully constructed facade. Either way, the narrative has irrevocably shifted, exposing deep vulnerabilities in a story long tightly controlled. Truth, once suppressed, has a way of arriving uninvited and relentless, carrying with it the weight of broken bonds, unspoken grievances, and lingering resentment. The royal stage dims further with each passing day, yet the key players remain poised, their next moves holding the potential to redefine perceptions of loyalty, ambition, and betrayal.